In case you didn't know, TikTok hates black people, and here's why. In a week, since February started, which is also a week into Black History Month, and I never knew that a population could be this tone deaf. Like, are we in 2021 or 1965? Choose one or the other. What? Like, yo. There's been a lot of comments saying how black people don't deserve this, don't deserve Black History Month. Why do we get a Black History Month and other groups don't get one? And I'm just going to put some of the comments here. If you want to read it, you can.
Is it just me, or does this seem a little racist? Like BW.
History Month you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Oh, why not? Do you want one? No, I don't either.
Comments like these show pure ignorance, and this is why black people are angry, have to constantly fight for our rights, and will never give up because we're not going to let you guys take this away from us.
Already, white people are balling out. I already had to post a part 1 and part 2 showing all of the racist comments I've been receiving because people are so mad that it's Black History Month. And then right after I posted that part 2, I got a DM from this white woman saying, N-word with the hard R, KYS, you're the racist one, C-word. And then I posted a video exposing her, and TikTok removed it for harassment and bullying against her. And just when I thought it couldn't possibly get any worse.
You as a person are not forced into slavery or into a cage. So why are you still playing the victim card? Because from where I stand and how I see things nowadays, nobody's oppressed.
I'm super open to having conversations with people who have genuine questions after doing some critical thinking, but I do not have the patience to explain the existence of oppression to a white man who doesn't think it exists.
Let's talk about why we need a Black History Month. Let's most importantly talk about representation. I forgot to acknowledge my hoodie says Black Love, and I have a painting of 4 Black strong historic figures. It's on and poppin' this month. I found a video on the internet about North Dakotans fighting a lawmaker who was LGBTQ+ on why there needs to be a pride flag in the government building in that section of North Dakota. The lawmaker was a white woman who identified as a lesbian, and the North Dakotans who were arguing against her were Trump supporters and were also Republican. And she was basically saying that they need a flag because not all gay people feel represented under the American flag. There's gay people in North Dakota who are probably immigrants. There's gay people who are people of color. And the American flag didn't always support people of color and didn't always support immigrants. They still don't to this day and treat immigrants really badly. But many times in years before, the immigrant treatment was way worse than it was now. There's a lot more things that are easier for immigrants now to help them migrate to the States, but back then it was like completely different, and obviously there was more racism and misogyny. The American flag doesn't always support gay people. It never really did in the beginning, and it only has been for maybe the past 20 years or so. So having that flag will help them feel accepted and represented and welcome. And wouldn't you want people who feel safe in your community? You wouldn't want people to come to your community feeling afraid. And these North Dakotan people just didn't understand that. They just believed that the American flag represents everyone, and why do other people need their own flags? It's because to show representation, acceptance, and safety, and culture. Black History Month is not just about black people. It's about African heritage. It's about Caribbean heritage. It's also about American heritage. It's about the world in general. It's not just about North America. If you're not black, don't feel like you can't celebrate Black History Month. Like, you can. You can celebrate any heritage month, any month. Because you just being an ally and being a part and supporting us is literally all we need. And trying to at least learn. And that's all we care about. Like, it's about a group of people. It's not just about one race. Exactly how Black Lives Matter, Latino Lives Matter, Native American Lives Matter, Asian Lives Matter, and White Lives Matter, and so many other lives that matter are all a part and all come together as one group. And we're all included in each and every single one of those. Because we might have friends who are black. We might have family members who are black or Asian or Hispanic or Native American. we coexist around people who have different cultures and different races. So we're a part of their movements. We should be a part of their movements and should be a part of what they're fighting for if they're not getting that justice. So it's not just about only them. It's also about us putting our part in and supporting them so that they can feel more accepted into their society. And that's literally why we have cultural heritage months and racial heritage months. That's literally it. Don't get it? I really cannot help you. So to end off this video, I found this person online who really does not like black people and believes that black people basically cry and get everything they want and are very privileged and just a bunch of nonsense that doesn't even make sense. What I'm showing you, prime example as to why POCs and minorities will never get along if we continue to play oppression Olympics and put other POCs and minorities down. This is BS. Now, let's debunk this real quick. So they said that we teach it in schools, but when it comes to other people's heritages, we have to Google it first because most people don't know it. Let me tell you this. I grew up in a school where I was a minority. I was probably one out of most of the times, maybe 5 black people in my class. And a lot of times now I'm the only black person literally in my class. Like, I can count off all the black people in my grade. It's that small. Like, our community is that small in my school. And in school I didn't really learn much about Black History Month. Teachers expected I didn't really learn that much about black history and African heritage and culture. Teachers expected me to run a class for Black History Month and lessons about black people and teach about our history, yet I had no idea what the hell I was talking about, and they expected me to carry that. I had to learn most of my history through my parents, family members, the TV, the internet, like literally anything I could. Books that school did not provide me with. Other than the fact that every year or the other year they'll be like, oh yeah, here are some black people who made history. MLK, Malcolm X, Barack Obama, Jackie Robinson. They don't really go deep into the story, how they became that influential. They just literally just say their names and it's like, I have a dream. All right, on to the next. And in school, I actually learned more about Native American history because we had units on that, because obviously majority of North American history was based off of the Native Americans and the Europeans when the Europeans came and settled here and basically tried to dictate every single thing that they do. They also said that we teach about Black History Month, but when can we learn about other cultural heritage months? I can't really relate to that because I learn about every other different cultural heritage like each month. This month, actually, where I'm living, it's Chinese Heritage Month, so I'm learning about Chinese culture. I have many friends who are Chinese and they tell me their culture, and who are also Asian. Majority of my friend groups are Asian. So I can't really relate to that experience, but I understand the frustration if your school's obviously not doing anything about that, or your school system. America won't allow Puerto Ricans to vote. And they still don't after they claim Puerto Rico as their American territory. Let's talk about how there's black Puerto Ricans. I don't know how you just excluded black people from Puerto Rico, but there are plenty of black Puerto Ricans, because let's not forget that black African people were literally shipped off to the Caribbean and are on a bunch of different islands. Barbados, Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, the Dominican Republic, Haiti. Like, I don't understand where your learning is coming from, but I don't even know. And then they said that black people expect everyone to stand up for our struggles and our activism and what we're going through, but we don't do the same to help support other cultures and heritages and races when they're dealing with things in their communities that they need help to advocate for, which I believe that is partially true. A lot of times when it comes to other minority struggles, other minorities don't really pay attention. I see that with the Native American community. I see that with the Asian community. A lot of the time, sometimes the Hispanic community. It happens with every community, but I feel like that is true. There are some black people who do that. But to say that we're more important because we're black is just generalization. And it's actually sad because black people don't all experience that. I didn't even experience half of the things that this person just said. It just goes to show that they're ignorant, they're frustrated, they're coming from a place of hate. So if you are black, like literally just take this with a grain of salt, because I don't have time, we do not have time to get mad over people who don't decide to educate themselves first and know that generalization does not solve problems. So to end off this video on a happy note, happy Black History Month. Enjoy it. Get you some jerk chicken, you know, some fufu, whatever African food you like, anything. Learn about it, educate yourself, read books, watch movies, TV shows. We the people. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for next week's video. Love your roomies. Goodbye.